It is obvious that on a long trips you're gonna need some tools, right? But how to choose and organize the right set for your next journey? This is a good question, isn't it? In this video, I'm gonna give you one very simple and effective way to pick the right tools for your next adventure. So if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Welcome back. Let me once again remind you about the 3 necessary steps or the chronological order that I told you in the first episode of this series. First was the maintenance before the trip, then is to take the right spare parts for the journey, and the third is to use the correct set of tools to eventually fix the problems that you might have on the trip. The first two we already discussed in the episode number 1 and number 2, but let me now help you to find the right tools for your next journey. Please pay attention on the words. I said the right tools. What exactly does it mean? It means taking only the necessary tools that your motorcycle requires. And believe me, there are not that many. For example, these are all the tools that I have with me on the trips, and it doesn't matter how long they are. And I'm gonna show you what I have inside after a minute. But before that, I would like you to understand the whole idea behind it, the whole conception, because many people are taking just too much or too little, and all of this might be a problem when you travel on a long trip. The reality is that on the road you wouldn't be able to do much. Maybe to change your clutch plates, filters, oils, brake pads, maybe wheel bearings here and there. But without having a proper access to a garage and tools, even if you have the right skills, you wouldn't be able to do much. And once you understand this, the rest is just easy. It is very logical. In fact, during the years and many of my trips, I did all of these small repairs that I already mentioned, like spark plugs, oil changes, wheel bearings, chain changes, clutch plates, and many more. But I did it with the small set of tools that I'm gonna show you after a while. You may think that just because you had zero mechanical skills, you don't need to carry any tools with you, but it is not exactly like that. If your motorcycle requires some specific tools, better is to have it. For example, this is a wrench to open the cap of the forks of Yamaha YZ450. And if you have problem on the road, or if you know that you might have problem on the road and you don't have this specific tool, it will be a problem. Of course, you can always improvise, but you can also damage the top of your forks. That's why I said it is always good to have it. Everything that you have to remember so far is that it will be your responsibility to have the necessary tools that your motorcycle requires, even if you don't know how to use them. And they don't need to be that many. To support everything that I just told you, I will give you another one example. My friend and mechanic Plamen also has Tenere 700 like mine. He also travels in remote areas. And even though he has more than 25 years of experience fixing bikes, I don't know how many thousands of bikes he fixed during his life, this is what he do. His set of tools is even smaller than mine, because he understands very well that without having a proper access to garage and tools, you cannot do much on the road. Just remember it. These are all the tools that I carry with me on my trips. And as I told you, it doesn't matter how long they are. And these are all the tools that I will need to do the repairs that I already mentioned. So the first is number 27, this big wrench. I need to remove the axle of the rear wheel. And thanks to this pipe, I can use it as an extension or to have more arm, to have more power to remove this big nut. This is number 22, and I needed to remove the front wheel with the help of this tool. So when I insert it on the bike, I can have this like this, and then the same arm, and just work on it and remove it. And this is a small ratchet with an extension and all the necessary numbers that I need. I also have a transmitter from big to small, and use the rest of the tools. I have Allen keys, exactly the numbers that I have on my motorcycle, And few more wrenches. Number 17, again I cut this part because I don't need it. If I need more power, I will use this pipe. Number 12 and number 10. I also have a screwdriver with flat end and cross end. Just I can change it anytime. And this is the cup that I need to remove the oil filter of my motorcycle. I know that I can easily remove it without it. Even with a simple screwdriver I can pinch the oil filter and remove it, but just because it does not require additional space on my motorcycle and it is light, what I usually do, keep all of these small tools inside, so it does not require additional space and it is not heavy. That's why I prefer to have it, because sometimes you won't be able to remove the oil filter, the oil filter, especially if it's too hot or too cold. I prefer to have this cup. And to work with this cup, again, I have just this end, plug it here, and I can work with the cup. So let me now show you how exactly I decided to have these tools and to give you an examples from my motorcycle. Something very important. The examples that I'm gonna give you now, they are valid for any type of motorcycle. It doesn't matter what brand of model you have, the principle is going to be the same. But of course, the numbers of the tools that your motorcycle requires might be different. Just to have this in mind. Because, for example, I might need to have here number 12, but your motorcycle might be 14. Or the same with your axles, fronts and rear, and all the bolts and nuts that you have. It is very simple. You just go around the bike and check all the bolts and nuts that it has and try to find the right tools to work with it. First, for example, is the axle. I need this bolt to go into the axle. I need this wrench to have power, and eventually this extension pipe to have even more power. Of course, I have to remove these bolts here. They're number 10. For that purpose, I have this with the ratchet. And here are number 12s. So I have number 12s to remove the brake calipers if I need it. If for any reason I need to remove this Allen number here or this, I have the Allen keys. I have also number 8 to remove these bolts here, or all the bolts that are on the side panels. They are number 8. And I can use this to go everywhere around. And then I continue. Number 10 I need for here. Number 8 I need for here. Allen key I will need to remove the hand guards. The same here, the same there. I will need another one, very small, to remove this one here. So then I come to this part of the engine where the clutch plates are. If I have to change it, I will need Allen key, and I have the proper Allen key with me. Then I will have another one to remove this cover. I have it with me. If I have to remove the side panels, again I have number 8 to work to all of them. And here I need Allen key. I have this number here. I have the numbers to remove the crash guards if I have to. Here is number 12. I have number 12 with me. When it comes to oil change, I need number 10 to remove the engine guard. Then I have this tool to remove the filter. I have number 17 to remove the oil plug. And everything that I have on the bike, I need to check in advance. And if some of the tools is missing, I need to have it in my set. 27 to remove the rear axle, 10 and 12 to adjust the chain. Even if I have to remove the petrol tank, I can do it. I have number 8 to remove these plastic covers, all of them. Then I have this Allen key to remove the top of the tank. Then I have number 10 to remove these bolts. And then I have another Allen key to remove this one if necessary. Here, this one, yeah. And I can lift the tank and change the spark plug if I have to. Here, all of these things could be again played with number 10 and screwdriver for the connections of the battery, or anything else that I have under the seat. I have number 15 if for any reason I have to remove the side stand or work with the switch here. Then I have number 12 if I have to remove the roller of the chain. Here was number 13 if I have to remove this. Number 13 was this, to remove these bolts for any reason. So all of these Allen keys I already got. This I've got. So basically you go around your motorcycle and check everything until you're happy with your set. And if you're wondering why I have this red tape on all of my tools, or at least most of my tools, is because if you work with someone in a group or somewhere on the field and you split all the tools, yours and his tools, on the ground, and then when you fix the motorcycles, eventually you have to pick your tools and have it back. That's why I mark my tools. It's not that they are very expensive or I cannot lose it, but I want to have the right tools if I need it. That's why I mark my tools. Easy to find them after we finish the repair work. This is how they look like once I put them in the places, in the proper places, and then I'm gonna show you where I keep it on the motorcycle. The leather set goes under the rider seat. The rest go under the passenger seat. I also keep here 2 sets of brake pads, front and rear, and another one here, so I can have 3 more sets of brake pads here under the passenger seat. Big tire levers I keep here tightened on the motorcycle all the time, covered with this bicycle tube on the top, prevent them from rusting. As you already saw, the tools are not that many and I keep them all under the seat, except the tire levers that are stuck on the side. But here now you might say, Pavlin, it is easy for you because you have brand new motorcycle, but my machine is 15 years old and I need a lot of tools. Well, it is not exactly like that. What you really need is to do a better maintenance, more detailed maintenance before the trip, to change as many as possible parts. Everything that it's about to expire, you have to change it before the trip. And you might need a little bit more spare parts during the trip, but the tools will be more or less the same. Also, don't forget that I have this new Tenere from a year, but I did many trips with my old Tenere, which at the moment has 193,000 kilometers. It is 2008, and I did the trips with the same tool sets. It is actually exactly the same leather set. What I did is just to add some new numbers or remove some numbers that I do not have on my new motorcycle. That's it. The same tool set I've got from many years, proven in many trips, in many small repairs, in many places around the world. As usual, everything that I'm telling you, it is proven by me with my trips, and it is very well documented on my channel. I also recently started doing these Sunday live streams for channel members and Patreons, and over there we discuss many different topics with more details. Usually they last like 1 hour and 30 minutes, and if you're a channel member and Patreon, you can join us and have your questions if you have any. But if you're not Patreon or not channel member, you can always do it on my second channel, Motorcycle Adventures Live, where I upload these streams a little bit later, 2-3 days later. Of course, it won't be live anymore. You wouldn't be able to ask questions and receive answers, but you will still have the same information that might help you in many ways. With this, I'm gonna finish this series about the preparation for long trips, but if you want to learn more, you can always check the rest of the videos on the channel. I've got almost 1000 on every topic. If you want to learn, but you don't have the time, you might consider joining my online course. Over there, for only 8 hours, you'll be able to learn the most important and finally start with your dream adventures. At the moment, I even have it on 50% discount. I'm gonna have all the details in the description down below. Anyway, press like or dislike, whatever this video deserves. Always ride safe and see you next time. Ciao.